for the conducting of the strenuous job. They have done a very tough job. I will say. The investigation team. And I like to mention of Mr. Alamgir, investigating officer, and Mr. Joha, and other members of the investigation team. Many thanks to them. Thanks to my bench officers, assistant bench officers, and those who operated our devices and machineries, including Mr. Meher. He has done a lot in the preparation of the judgment. I also like to extend thanks to my registry, to all the staff, and to the respected journalists who have been working very hard to collect the information of this tribunal during the last a long period. And we are very much thankful, grateful to the members of the martyrs and those who have been injured, lost their eyes, their skulls, their nose, teeth, legs, hands, handicapped. In spite of being handicapped, they attended the court. They deposed the court, and they assisted in the running of the trial of the case. We are thankful to our police personnel and all other security staff, BGB, SB, DB, Metropolitan Police, and all others. And many thanks to those who have come to depose in the court. And very much thankful to the prosecution. The learned prosecutor, Mr. Izanul Islam, Mr. Ghazi Manoharul Hussain. They played a substantial part in the trial. And I will mention the other names of the prosecutors who have also contributed to some extent from time to time during the proceeding of this case. And they are Mr. Sultan Mahmud, Mr. Shoidul Islam Sardar, Mr. Farooq Ahmed, Mr. Abdullah Numan, Mr. Abdul Sattar, Mr. Mamun Rashid, MD, Hassanul Banna, SM Moinul Karim, Mr. Saikul Mahdi, Mr. Tariq Abdullah, Mr. Saimum Raja, Mr. Tasmirul Islam, Mr. Tanbir Hussain Joha. Our thanks to all our staff, whose names I could not mention by this time. Our heartfelt thanks to the learned Attorney General, who have attended the trial at the inception and at the conclusion. Over and above, our thanks from the core of our heart to Mr. Tajul Islam, the learned Chief Prosecutor, for playing the part of excellence. We are thankful to all others. Thank you. Now let us say something about. I am sorry. I'm very much sorry. Our sincere thanks to the learned defense lawyers particularly learned State Defence Lawyer Mr. Amin Mohammad. Many people will say many things, but he has done a lot, and he in our view, in our estimation, to the best of his possibility, he played the exact role he was supposed to, and that we expected. Thanks to him again. And if anyone is left, sorry that we do not by this time recollect. Our thanks to the learner again for his kind presence. We are sorry for being late because many things are connected in the preparation of the judgment. This is a very big matter. For the last couple of days, we could sleep very little, and we had to work continuously for 10 to 12 hours every day. So anyway, this is our job. But all of you are waiting. You have participated in many ways. Thanks to you all. Now let us discuss something about the judgment. I want to give an idea of the judgment. The judgment comprises 453 pages. And it consists of six parts. The first part includes the index, description of the prosecutors, learned prosecutors and the learned defense counsels, introduction of the accused, origin and object of the tribunal, jurisdiction of the tribunal. Article 7 of the Rome Statute, which is the basis of trial of our tribunal. Elements of the crime against humanity. We are trying the offense. We are holding trial of the crime against humanity. So elements of crime against humanity. These are enunciated by the Rome Statute and being followed and exercised by the International Criminal Court and other international tribunals. We are also following the Rome Statute as well as our law, and particularly the elements as enshrined therein. And the elements of superior command responsibility. In such cases, superior command responsibility is bulkily involved, and that's why we have to have regard to this aspect as well. And we have stated the standard of the tribunal. That is, we compare the standard of this tribunal with the standard of the other international tribunals as well as the International Criminal Court. And we have said about the trial procedure, part 2, pre-trial proceedings, part 3, prosecution story and defense case. We have stated about learned chief prosecutor submission on charge, learned state defense counsel submission on charge, thereafter decision on charge, and then we have given the description of evidences in part 4. In part 4 we have also given an account of the testimonies of the prosecution witnesses. In part 5 we have given the illustration of the evidences, that is the discussion of the evidences. Used arms and ammunitions. We have given an account of the used arms and ammunitions. We have given a description. We have discussed about the telephonic conversations of accused Hasina with a number of persons from time to time. We have discussed and extracted the reports of daily newspapers concerning the issues of this case, reports of United Nations Human Rights Commission, reports of Odhikar, another Human Rights Commission, reports of Human Rights Watch, and Globe Institute, and so on. We have discussed about the videos of the occurrences which have been displayed in the tribunal. And we have described the extent of cruelty administered upon the victims who have died and who have been seriously injured and lost their vital organs of the body. And we have talked about seized alamots. We have given account of the murders, number of murders. In accordance with the Gazette notifications published by our government and in accordance with the reports of United Nations Human Rights Commission and other organizations. In this context, I want to say that the exact report of martyrs or the victims or the sufferers or the injured persons or those whose whereabouts could not be traced. This is quite natural. You will understand that since our liberation war in 1971, still we could not finalize the list of murderers, the list of freedom fighters, list of the war criminals, and others. So there are lists. But it varies. So you say time limit. It may vary. Somewhere you find the figure 800, somewhere 1,000, somewhere 1,400. So substantial amount of the protesters have been killed. This is the fact. We have described the police messages and directions passed from the high-ups to the downwards for doing the needful to control the protesters, curfew orders. Then in part 6, we have given an account of the learned chief prosecutors' arguments, the points of arguments, pertinent points of arguments have been described. We have also described the pertinent points of arguments raised by the learned State Defense Council. Thereafter, we have given an account of our observations and inference. And finally, we passed the order. So this is all about the judgment. Now we will read out the very pertinent portions of the judgment one by one. At first our line number 2. He will read out a portion of the judgment commencing from origin and object of the tribunal, jurisdiction of the tribunal, and he will read out Article 7 of Home Statute, elements of crime against humanity, elements of superior command, status, responsibility, and then charges. Thereafter, learned number 1, he will read out some portions from the discussion of the evidences, the report of the United Nations Human Rights Commission, and then the extent of cruelty administered upon the victims, and thereafter the points of arguments submitted by the learned chief prosecutor and the learned State Defense Council. And finally, I will read out the conclusion and the order. So it will take about 40 minutes. We hope that you will be listening to the deliberations. Thank you very much. Now, the turn of our learned member 2 He's reading out, as I have mentioned.
Origin and object of the tribunal. The International Crimes Tribunal has been established under the International Crimes Tribunal Act 1973 to provide for the detention, prosecution and punishment of the persons for genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes and other crimes under international law committed within or beyond the territory of Bangladesh, whether before or after commencement of the Act. Jurisdiction of the tribunal. The tribunal has got jurisdiction to try the offences enshrined in Section 3 and 4 of the International Crimes Tribunal Act 1973. Section 3 provides, a tribunal shall have the power to try and punish any individual or group or individuals, organization or any member of any disciplined force, auxiliary force or intelligence agency who, irrespective of his nationality, commits or has committed within or beyond the territory of Bangladesh, whether before or after the commencement of this Act, any of the crimes mentioned in its subsection 2. According to subsection 2 of Section 3, the following acts or any of them is crime within the jurisdiction of a tribunal for which there shall be individual responsibility. The Constitution of Bangladesh has given upper hand in Article 47, Subclause 3 thereof to the application of the provisions of International Crimes Tribunals Act 1973 in the following manner. Notwithstanding anything contained in this Constitution, no law nor any provision thereof providing for detention, prosecution or punishment of any person thereof who is a member of any or defense or auxiliary forces or any individual group of individuals or organization or who is a prisoner of war for genocide, crimes against humanity or war crimes other crimes under international law, crimes shall be deemed void or unlawful to have become void or unlawful on the ground that such law or provisions or any such law become inconsistent with or pertinent to any of the provisions of the Constitution is crime inconsistent against humanity, namely murder, extermination, enslavement, deportation, imprisonment, abduction, confinement, torture, enslavement, sexual exploitation, imprisonment, disappearance, human trafficking, sexual slavery, enforced prostitution, forced pregnancy, enforced sterilization or other human slavery when committed as part of a widespread or systematic action or other human against any civilian population with the knowledge of direct or systematic persecution on political, racial, ethnic or religious ground, or whether or not in violation of the domestic law of the country where perpetrated. Whether or not Section 4 of the domestic law provides as follows. Any individual or groups of individuals or any member of any disciplined force as follows. Auxiliary force or intelligence agency commit crime within the jurisdiction of the tribunal shall be responsible and liable for punishment. Crime within the jurisdiction any commander, superior officer audit and liable for orders, permits, acquisitions, incite any commander or superior in the commission of any other crimes specified in Section 3, incite or is connected with any plans or the commission of any of the commission of such crimes or who fails or omits to discharge his duty to maintain a discipline or control or fails or omits the actions of the person under his command or orders, whereby such person subordinates the actions of any of them commits such crimes or who fails to take necessary measures to prevent the commission of such crimes or who fails to take necessary measures to prevent the commission of such crimes. Now crimes against humanity according to Rome Statute. For the purpose of this statute, crime against humanity means any of the following acts when committed of this statute part of a widespread or systematic attack, any of the directed against any civilian population with the knowledge of the attack or systematic murder and directed the relevant ones, knowledge of torture, other inhuman acts of a similar character internationally causing great suffering or serious injury to body or to mental or physical health. Intentionally causing great suffering in the instance case is the crime against humanity health. Thus, we have to see what elements are required to constitute the crime against humanity. Section 4 of the Act. There must be an attack to constitute this crime. The attack must be widespread or systematic. There must be the attack must be targeted. The attack must be widespread or systematic. The attack must be within the knowledge of the superior or the superior have known of the attack in order to hold him or her liable for the superior or the superior must have been in the control over the concern or subordinate liable for the crime. The superior must have been elements of the superior command responsibility. From the jurisprudence, elements eminent from superior command tribunal. From these, it is generally agreed prudence that eminent four elements must be proven for a person to be held responsible as superior. The elements are one, and insertion crime for a person to be held responsible by someone other than the are one, two. And there exists a superior subordinate relationship other than between the accused and the perpetrator. 3. The accused as a superior knew or had reason to know between the accused and the perpetrator. The subordinate was about to commit as a such crime or had done so. 4. The accused as a superior failed to take the necessary and reasonable measure to prevent such crimes or punish the perpetrator. Failed to take the necessary and reasonable measure to prevent Section 4, Subsection 2 of the International Crimes Tribunal Act provides that any commander or Subsection 2 of the International Crimes Tribunal Act permits acquisition or participant in the commission of any of the crimes specified in Section 3 or is connected with in the commission of any of the activities involved in the commission of such crime or who failed any plans to discharge his duty to maintain the commission of such or to control or supervise the actions of the persons under his command or his subordinates, whereby such persons or subordinates or any of his command commit any such crime whereby who fails to take necessary measures to prevent the commission of such crime is guilty of such crimes. Or who fails to take necessary measures I'm going to read our charges. Of such crime is guilty of such crime. On the point of the jurisdiction of this tribunal, I am raised by the London State Defence Council. It may be noted that the jurisdiction of this tribunal to raise such question since question of jurisdiction of the tribunal there Section 4 of the International Crimes Tribunal Act. Since question of regarding the allegations against the accused merely made crimes tribunal yet to without showing anything against the accused substance contrary to the acts complained of. On the other hand, anything on perusal of the following charges and the documents submitted there complaint on the other hand, submission on perusal of the learned charge prosecutor and the documents submitted defense counsel, it has been made to appear to us that there are sufficient grounds for framing charges against the accused under Section 3 subsection 2 read for framing charges with Section 4 under Section on hearing subsection 2 5 charges were framed against Sheikh Hasina individually and separate 5 charges were framed against accused Asad bin Jawan Kamal, Sheikh Hasina Abdullah Al-Mawani and separate 5 charges were framed against accused on scrutiny of the documents and the examination of the witnesses of the tribunal. deems scrutiny of the Codyne to shed the mention of the witness condign to criminal deems charges Codyne to shape the charges for ends of justice, and accordingly the same charges framed earlier have been modified in the following ends of justice. Charge number 1. Accordingly, the same charges framed earlier have been modified in the following manner. Incitement in order to attack and kill protesting students of Dhaka University and other academic institutions of the country, and also failure to take preventive and punitive measures and thus injure hundreds of the country, and severely injuring thousands of preventive and punitive measures during and thus July uprising 2004, severely injuring commencing on 1st July 2024 and ending on 5th August 2024, acquisition of Sheikh Hasina as the Prime Minister of Bangladesh and the President of the ruling party of Bangladesh, Awami League, as well as foreign allies in the present conference on 14/7/2024 at Governor Bhavan made the following derogatory remark. 14th মুক্তিযোদ্ধার নাতিরা চাকরি পাবে না তো কি রাজাকারের নাতিপুতিরা চাকরি পাবে? If the grandchildren of freedom fighters should not get jobs, should the grandchildren of rajakas get it? Pointing towards the protesters of anti-discrimination student movement while demanding rational reform of quota system in government job, whereby the left defamed.
Got a great business idea? Give it a domain name from GoDaddy.
And felt and defamed that agreed since Rajakas are considering as collaborators of occupied Pakistan army during Liberation War of 71. And thereafter the term has been used to stigmatize an individual or group of individuals as enemy of the state of the people. Moreover, in a telephonic conversation with A.S.M. Kamal, the then Vice Chancellor of Dhaka University, Sheikh Hasina, mentioned that she ordered to hang the protesters as the Rajakas have been hanged. Mentioned that furthermore, she ordered to hang incited the protesters inspired by the Rajakas have been Cabinet Minister and Awami League Secretary Obaidul Qadir separately made another provocative Cabinet Minister and remark from Obaidul Qadir July of 2024 at 12 noon, saying aggressive remark on Domone July of 2024 Chhatrলীগ is enough to bring the movement under control. And as such, students, female and male, came down to bring the movement under control, chanting slogans against herself, the students and her party of government. Meanwhile, the subordinates, including the cabinet members against herself and other law enforcing agencies. Meanwhile, subordinates, including the cabinet members of and other law party, Awami League, and its affiliated and allied organizations go to incited and inspired of the aforesaid remarks of you and Obaidul Qadir, and thus they launched widespread and systematic attack within your full knowledge upon the peaceful statement protesters in Dhaka University, causing 297 students injured and many others in different educational institutions throughout the country, including Rangpur, Begum Rokia University, where outside was brutally shot by police. By your incitement and order to kill the protesting students who have been injured and killed as their foresight, and also by failure to take preventive and punitive measures against the perpetrators, accused Sheikh Hasina committed the crime against humanity under Section 3, Subsection 2, under Section 4, Subsection 1, Clause B, and Section 4, Clause 3, Subsection 3, with Section 20A of the International Crimes Tribunal Act 1973. Charge number 2. Order to use lethal weapons ground and helicopters to kill the protesters and execution of the lethal weapon during the July uprising. Helicopters 2024 the protesters and accused Sheikh Hasina held a conversation over telephone with Dr. A.S.M. Maksud Kamal, the then Vice Chancellor of Dhaka University, from Governor on 14th July 2024 at about University 11 a.m. wherein she mentioned that she already ordered to kill the protesters like the other Christians, wherein she mentioned that she had been hanged for the protesters. Again, on July 18, Sheikh Hasina conversed over telephone with Sheikh Fazlul Tapo. Again, on July 18, Sheikh Hasina conversed over telephone with the corporation, mentioning that she had already given direction to the law enforcement agencies to use helicopter and lethal weapons to kill and eliminate law enforcement peaceful unarmed civilian helicopters and lethal weapons, and also ordered them to use drones to locate peaceful protesters. She also told him that she passed orders to arrest and locate the protesters across the country. As a result of above orders to arrest directions, the Home Minister across Asad Kamal and the Inspector General of Police, Chaudhry Abdullah Mamun, successfully implemented the directions and the Inspector General of Police, Chaudhry Abdullah Mamun, that is law enforcing, implemented agencies by deploying drones and helicopters in the sky, killing about 1,400 protesters, including women and children, indiscriminately and gravely injuring about 25 women and children throughout the country by using lethal weapons, injuring everywhere from 16th July 2024 and helicopters by somewhere from 18th July 2024 up to 5th August 2024, and thereby Sheikh Hasina, Asad Kamal and Chaudhry Abdullah Mamun committed crimes against humanity as a joint criminal enterprise punishable under Section 3, subsection 2, clause A, as a joint criminal enterprise punishable under Section 3, subsection 4, subsection 3, read with Section 3A of the International Crimes Tribunal Act. Section 4, Church number 3. Read with killing 6 protesters at Chankharpur with lethal weapons. Church number 3. The protesters convened a program at Chankharpur, Dhaka, to be held on 5th August and made a convened call to the people of all Dhaka throughout the country to march Dhaka, and made a scheduled day call to the people of all sphere began to assemble in Dhaka from every part of the country on August 5th. Sphere by incitement and order and inaction of Sheikh Hasina, by and inaction of both ministers, Asad Kamal and Inspector General of Police, Chaudhry Abdullah Mamun, the successive underlings got and Inspector General of Police to kill the protesting students, successive and common underlings, and therefore under order and inspired supervision and action of accused Asad Kamal, Chaudhry Abdullah Mamun, and these Metropolitan Commissioner CM Habibur Rahman, Joint Commissioner Shuri Kumar Mahmood, Additional Deputy Commissioner Shah Amin Mohammad, Joint Islam, Assistant Commissioner Muhammad Idul, and Additional Deputy Muhammad Ashar Hussain, who have been separately prosecuted successively ordered to commit atrocities to the protesters assembled at Chankharpur, Dhaka, and ordered to supervise the same, and during such atrocities assembled at Chankharpur, unarmed protesters, namely Shahjan Khan Anas and Sheikh Mahdi Hassan
যেমনটা দেখছেন যে এই মুহূর্তে কিন্তু আসলে সেনাবাহিনী, পুলিশ এবং শিক্ষার্থীরা অনেকটা মুখোমুখি অবস্থান করছেন, অর্থাৎ শিক্ষার্থী যারা আছেন সেসব শিক্ষার্থীরা কিন্তু চেষ্টা করছেন যে ব্যারিকেড ভেঙে কিন্তু তারা ধানমন্ডি পৌঁছে যাওয়ার জন্য। এবং আপনাদের যদি
as part of widespread and systematic separately the aforesaid killing took place as pursuant to the order of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina within her full aforesaid killing to under order, supervision and regular knowledge of Home Minister Amin Kamal and Inspector General of Police Chaudhry Abdullah Mamun, and by such killing the committed crime against humanity as joint criminal enterprise by order, abatement and inaction to prevent and punish the perpetrators under Section 3, subsection 2, read with prevent and punish the perpetrators under Section 3, subsection 1973 of Tribunal Act number 1, 1973. Number 1.
it transpires from the
দর্শক যেমনটা দেখছিলেন যে আসলে বিক্ষুব্ধ শিক্ষার্থীদের একটা অংশ কিন্তু ইতিমধ্যেই আইন শৃঙ্খলা বাহিনীর যে ব্যারিকেড রয়েছে সেই ব্যারিকেড ভেঙে কিন্তু 32 নম্বরের ভেতরে চলে এসেছে এবং এসে কিন্তু তারা এই মুহূর্তে 32 যে পুরো এবং ভাঙা ভবন রয়েছে সেখানে কিন্তু তারা পাথর এবং ইট পাটকেল নিক্ষেপ করছে এবং সামনেই কিন্তু দেখেছিলাম যে আসলে আইন শৃঙ্খলা বাহিনীর সদস্যরা আছেন, বিশেষ করে পুলিশ এবং সেনাবাহিনী, তারা কিন্তু ব্যারিকেড দিয়ে রেখেছিলেন। সেই ব্যারিকেড ভেঙে কিন্তু অসংখ্য শিক্ষার্থীরা ইতিমধ্যেই এখানে প্রবেশ করেছেন।
mentioned that he already ordered to hang the students as Radhakat Hasina mentioned that she already ordered. Now I am mentioning the substantial portion from the conversation. Now from her conversation to Amin Mohammad Group, Vice Chancellor of Dhaka. Sheikh Hasina, Radhakare ko ফাঁসি যা অ্যাকশন নেওয়া নেবে। Then also appears from the conversation with Dhaka South City Corporation Mayor President Support, accused Sheikh Hasina told him that she ordered to free the prosecution students by using helicopters and local meetings. That she ordered to free the substantial portion of the conversation in helicopters and local meetings. দরকার নাই।
দর্শক যেমনটা দেখছিলেন যে ইতিমধ্যে 32 নম্বরের গেটের সামনে কিন্তু সেনাবাহিনী এবং পুলিশ ব্যারিকেড দিয়ে রেখেছে। যদিও সেই ব্যারিকেড ভেঙে কিন্তু বেশ কয়েকজন শিক্ষার্থী 32 নম্বরের ভেতরে প্রবেশ করেছেন এবং ভেতরে প্রবেশ করার পরে কিন্তু তারা এখানে ইট পাটকেল নিক্ষেপ করছেন এবং একই সাথে কিন্তু এদিক দিয়ে যাতে কোনোভাবেই বুলডোজার প্রবেশ করতে না পারে এবং সেই সাথে সব বিক্ষুব্ধ শিক্ষার্থীরা যাতে এখানে প্রবেশ করতে না পারে সেজন্যই কিন্তু বাহিনীর সদস্যরা অবস্থায় রয়েছেন এবং একই সাথে কিন্তু সেনাবাহিনীর বেশ কয়েকজন সদস্যকে এখানে মোতায়েন করা হয়েছে। আপনারা নিশ্চয়ই দেখতে পাচ্ছেন যে সেনাবাহিনীর সদস্যরা এখন এই মুহূর্তে আরো ব্যারিকেড অংশ থেকে কিন্তু 32 নম্বরের ভেতরের দিকে যাচ্ছেন, অর্থাৎ যেখানে বেশ কয়েকজন শিক্ষার্থী 32 নম্বর ঘুরিয়ে দেওয়ার জন্য প্রবেশ করেছিলেন ঠিক সেই দিকে যাচ্ছেন। দর্শক আপনাদের জানিয়ে রাখতে চাই যে আজ শেখ হাসিনার রায়কে কেন্দ্র করে কার্যক্রম নিষিদ্ধ আওয়ামী লীগ কিন্তু শাটডাউন কর্মসূচি ঘোষণা করেছিল এবং সেই কর্মসূচির প্রেক্ষিতে কিন্তু জুলাই গণঅভ্যুত্থানের যে বিক্ষুব্ধ
না পড়ে না পড়ে দিতে নাসিবপত্র সব পড়ে গেছে। আমি বলছি দাদা পড়াতে ও আমাদের সেতু ভবন পড়াইছে। তারপর জি ওরা রাতে মনে হয় আরো ব্যাপক আক্রমণ করবে। In the conversation with the Hassanullah accused Sheikh Hasina mention of bombing upon the professor from the helicopter. The substantial portion, relevant portion from the conversation. Sheikh Hasina, না আমি বলছি ক্যাজুয়ালিটির দরকার নাই, ওরা ব্যারিকেড নিয়ে আছে তো ঠিক আছে, আকাশ থেকে নামবে তখন দুই পাশ দিয়ে ধরবে, মেসেজটা দিয়ে দিতে পারেন যে সেনা পাঠানো হচ্ছে আর হেলিকপ্টার দিয়ে সোজা বম্বিং করা হবে, র্যাবের হেলিকপ্টার দিয়ে উপর দিয়ে মারবে।
দর্শক যেমনটা আসলে দেখছিলেন যে এই মুহূর্তে আইন শৃঙ্খলা বাহিনীর যে সদস্য যারা আছে
আবার
তারাও
ভেঙে
কিন্তু
দেন ঢাকা শহরে। শেখ
তাদের
হাসিনা
টহল বাড়িয়ে
একেবারে।
দিয়েছেন এবং একই সাথে যেসব
শেখ হাসিনা, হ্যালো।
শিক্ষার্থী যারা আছে তারা
হাসানুল
কিন্তু
হকিম, হ্যালো, জি আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
বেশ কয়েকজন
আমি ইনু বলছিলাম, হ্যালো।
ঢুকে
শেখ
পড়েছিলেন
হাসিনা,
এবং
হ্যাঁ বলেন।
সেই সাথে কিন্তু
আচ্ছা,
আমরা
আমি
দেখছি যে
এটা
সেনাবাহিনীর আরো
ট্রলে
একটি
গিয়ে
বিশাল
বলছি
ইউনিট কিন্তু
যে তোমরা
এই 32
আপনারা
নম্বরের
সব
দিকে
ঘরে
এগিয়ে
ফেরো।
আসছে, অর্থাৎ বিক্ষুব্ধ যেসব
গার্ডিয়ানদেরকে বলছি,
শিক্ষার্থীরা এখানে
এইখানে কিন্তু
32
জঙ্গি
নম্বর
হামলা
ভাঙার
হয়েছে।
জন্য আসছেন
হাসানুল
তাদেরকে
হকিম,
ঠেকাতেই মূলত
হ্যাঁ, এটা
সেনাবাহিনীর আরো
রাইট।
বেশ
শেখ হাসিনা, না, এটা
কয়েকজন
আমাকে
সদস্যকে
দেশটিকে
কিন্তু তারা
আন্তর্জাতিক ইয়ে করেছে।
নিয়ে আসছে। যদি
তারা
আপনাদের
এটাকে জঙ্গি হামলা হিসেবে কনসিডার মানে বলতেছে।
যদি আমরা
আপনারা
দেখানোর
কি-
চেষ্টা করি যে সামনে
হ্যাঁ,
কিন্তু
জঙ্গি হামলাই
পুলিশ
হয়েছে।
এবং
এই
সেনাবাহিনীর
কার্ডটা
কয়েকজন সদস্য
খেলবো আমরা এখন।
কয়েকজন সদস্য
শেখ হাসিনা,
কিন্তু
না, কার্ড
ব্যারিকেড
খেলা
দিয়ে
না।
রেখেছেন এবং তাদের
এটা
সহায়তা
আমি
করার
আগে
জন্য
করি নাই, কিন্তু আমাকে
সেনাবাহিনীর আরো
আন্তর্জাতিক
একটি
সংস্থা
ইউনিট
থেকে
কিন্তু এখানে আমরা
মেসেজটা দিচ্ছে
দেখতে পাচ্ছি, অর্থাৎ
যে এটা জঙ্গি
সব
হামলা।
বিক্ষুব্ধ
হাসানুল
শিক্ষার্থী
হকিম,
যারা আছেন,
জঙ্গি সন্ত্রাসের মোকাবিলা
বিক্ষুব্ধ
করছে এখন
শিক্ষার্থী যারা
সরকার।
আছেন
শেখ হাসিনা,
তারা কিন্তু
তারা আমাকে এটাই বলছে যে এটা জঙ্গি হামলা,
যাতে
দিয়ে
কোনোভাবে
দিব
32 নম্বরে প্রবেশ করতে না পারে এবং তাদের সেই প্রবেশ ঠেকানোর জন্যই কিন্তু এই মুহূর্তে আমরা দেখছি যে সেনাবাহিনীর আরও একটি ইউনিট এসেছে এবং সেখানে কিন্তু যত সময় যাচ্ছে আইন শৃঙ্খলা বাহিনীর সদস্যদের যে সংখ্যা, সেই সংখ্যা কিন্তু একে বাড়ছে এবং একই সাথে শিক্ষার্থী যারা আছে, বিক্ষুব্ধ শিক্ষার্থী তারাও কিন্তু আসলে বলছেন যে তারা আইন শৃঙ্খলা বাহিনীর সাথে কোনো ধরনের
in Bangladesh and mention in each report that the following inhuman and unlawful acts were committed protesters during the movement and reports as follows. Reported as follows. Based on direct testimony from senior officials involved and other inside sources, OHCHR was able to establish that the integrated and systematic effort using the entire range of police, paramilitary, military and intelligence actors as well as violent elements linked to the Awami League to commit serious violations and abuses occurred with the full knowledge, coordination and direction of the political leadership. The then Prime Minister and Home Affairs Minister led parallel efforts to coordinate the security and intelligence apparatus. Both received regular reports on the situation on the ground from multiple sources. According to senior official testimony, received regular reports on the situation provided to the Prime Minister by senior officials on 21 July and report in early August specifically conveyed concern about excessive use of force. Both political leaders in early August leadership of Bangladesh Police and the Army also carried out political leaders site visits that would have provided them direct the personal knowledge of violations that had taken place or were ongoing. Furthermore, the political leadership issued direct orders and other directives authorizing and guiding operations by BGP, issued direct orders and other directives, the Bangladesh Police and guiding operations by branch that involved serious violations of human rights against protesters and other civilians, including extrajudicial killings and arbitrary detention. Based on reported other civilians, including deaths complied by governmental and non-governmental sources, in combination with other available evidence, OHCHR assessed that as many as 1,400 people would have been killed during the protest. The vast majority of whom were killed by military rifles and shotguns loaded with lethal metal pellets commonly used by Bangladesh's security forces. Thousands more suffered severe opiate life-altering injuries. More than 11,700 people are arrested and detained, according to information from the police and RAB provided to OHCHR. Government attempted to intimidate and delegitimate the student protest movement. Mobilize of Satruli, police and paramilitary forces. Militarize the student, materialize of policing in Bangladesh, incited violence by armed Awami League and activists on and around university premises, conducted coordinated attacks by armed Awami League supporters and the police, use of force violations by police, RAB and BGB, including extrajudicial killing, like killing Abu Said of Begum Ruqya University, Rangpur, 16 July, made systematic indiscriminate use of shotguns loaded with lethal ammunition, suppressed peaceful assembly at Dhaka University on 17 July. Police, RAB and BGB extrajudicially killed protesters in Uttara on 18 July. Disproportionate and indiscriminate use of firearms in response to violent unrest, indiscriminately shooting in Rampura and Badda by BGP and police on July 19. Violently cleared the Dhaka-Chattogram highway in Jatrabari on between 16 to 21 July. Extrajudicial killings to suppress the march to Dhaka on August 5 involved the army who shot at protesters at Jamuna Future Park on 5th August 2024, used helicopter to intimidate and deployed possibly unlawful force, obstructed of medical care and denied necessary medical documentation, obstructed medical treatment of victim Sheikh Asabul Yamin, shot by police, caused mass arbitrary arrest, detention without due process and torture and ill treatment, caused block raids and mass arrests, including injured persons. Students and opposition leaders attacked journalists, children and women and caused unjustified shutdown of internet. In the said report, Mr. Volker Turk, the High Commissioner of Human Rights Office of United Nations, that the atrocities committed in July Revolution 2024 in Bangladesh was preconcerted and systematic in order to remaining in power. There are cogent grounds to believe that hundreds of extrajudicial killings, arrests, detention and torture were carried out by the political leaders and the highest law enforcing authorities within their knowledge and under their direction and supervision as strategy to suppress the government, whereby human rights have been seriously violated and thus international crimes have been committed. He also observed that the evidences collected do depict a picture of widespread state atrocities and targeted killings. He further remarked that such atrocities ought to be brought under accountability. There are many other similar reports by the Global Institute International Truth and Justice Project, Bloodshed in Bangladesh, World Report 2025 of Human Rights Watch. Then we are going to videos of the occurrences. It appears from the Caesar list contained in volume 4, captions, Caesar list and documentary evidence that a good number of videos of the alleged occurrences have been seized by the investigating officer, which are described below. Number 1. A video of 1 hour 23 minutes and 5 seconds showing a press conference dated 14 July 2024 of accused Sheikh Hasina after her return from China, in which she, in answer to a question of one journalist, angrily remarked, pointing towards the protesting students, মুক্তিযুদ্ধের বিরুদ্ধে আর মুক্তিযোদ্ধার বিরুদ্ধে এত ক্ষোভ কেন? মুক্তিযোদ্ধাদের নাতিপুতিরা চাকরি পাবে না তো কি রাজাকারের নাতিপুতিরা পাবে? Number 2, a video of 35 seconds dated 15 July 2024 showing protest of the agitated students of Dhaka University at midnight against the remark of Sheikh Hasina made in the press conference dated 14 July 2024 pointing towards the protesting students. Number 3, a video showing the remark Rajakarder jawab debe Chhatrolig. Number 4, a video of 1 minute 5 seconds which shows attack upon the students of Kota movement by Bangladesh Chhatra League leaders and activists on 15 July 2024 at night. A video which shows that Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, while visiting damaged metro rail station on 26 July 2024, defended her previous comment in the press conference dated 14 July 2024. Number 6. A video showing Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in course of her deliberation in a function of Jubo Mahila League held in July 2024 commented that the quota movement was illogical and also commented Jamaat Shibir Manusher Jatna. Number 7. A video showing some adverse remark of Sheikh Hasina against the female students of Ruqayya Hall of Dhaka University meeting at her office on 15 July 2024. A video showing how Sheikh Hasina asked Delhi to attack Dhaka. A video shows the scenario of how protesting student Mugdho was shot dead in the July movement. This video was broadcast by YouTube channel named Narrative Bangladesh on 19 April 2025. A video which shows the scene of shooting a young person named Ridoy by police in the July movement. This video was broadcast by YouTube channel named International Truth and Justice Project on 15 January 2025. A video named Jatrabari Evidence of a Massacre Bangla showing the scenarios of killing and torturing some participants of the movement. This video was broadcast by International Truth and Justice Project YouTube channel on 14 January 2025. A video showing the scene of carrying bullet-stricken young man named Nafiz at farm gate of Dhaka. This video was broadcasted in Jamuna TV YouTube channel on 14 August 2024. A video showing how movement participant Khokon Chandra Burman was injured with gunshot in his face. It appears that the whole face, including mouth, nose and eyes of Khokon Chandra Burman have been completely disfigured. This victim deposed in the tribunal as PW number 1. A video titled নির্মম 19 জুলাই শতাধিক লাশ হাজারো গুলিবিদ্ধ রক্তের জন্য হাহাকার DMC 19. A video titled Rab Helicopter Attack Kota Andolon 2024 showing operation upon the protesters from Rab helicopters at different parts of Dhaka in July 2024. A video showing how protester Imam Hassan Taim Bhuiya was shot dead at Jatrabari Dhaka. 4 videos in a pen drive showing the passing of order by Deputy Commissioner Amin Mohammad to the subordinate asking them to shoot the protesters below waist. A number of videos showing shooting upon the protesting people from helicopter. A video showing the scene of burning the dead bodies of protesting students and common people by police at Ashulia, Dhaka on 4th August 2025 during the July movement. A video showing the scene of Abu Said, a coordinator of July movement 24 being shot multiple times by police at a close range with lethal weapon. A video showing the scene of a dead body of protester Asabul Yamin being thrown from APC armed personnel carrier by police. A video which showing the accused Home Minister Asad Kamal defending the use of lethal weapon by police. A video which showing extent of Home Minister Asad It transfers from the evidences that cruelty of the extreme level was administered upon the dead and injured protesters. Police and activists of Awami League, Chhatra League and Jubo League blocked the entrance and exit of ambulances carrying the injuring protesters. Hospitals were asked not to give admission to the injured protesters. It appears from the testimony of PW2 that in some cases, patients were searched by police and ruling party activists. Doctors were intimidated and some of the doctors were transferred due to giving treatment to the protesting injured person. PW3 Parveen reports that she found an injured young man shouting, save me. Under the flyover. Blood was coming out from both of his eyes. Parveen pulled him up and put him on her shoulder and looking for a rickshaw. And then 14 to 15 armed police shot them. The injured man, being hit by bullets, fell down from her shoulder. They also shot PW Parveen at her left eye, lower abdomen and other parts of the body. Blood was gushing out of her body and thus she fell down. Coordinator of the movement, Abu Said of Begum Rokeya University, Rampur, was shot at a close range. Doctors were forced to change his post-mortem report 5 times. PW 9 Sikdar was shot at a close distance of 5 meters. He was hit by 500 bullets and 3 hospitals refused to admit him, apprising that Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina instructed to refuse admission to the protesting patients. PW8 also said that Chhatra League activists were searching him and as such he was hidden in separate room by the doctors. It is revealed from the evidence of PW9 Shahina Begum that police burned the dead body of her son along with some other dead bodies in a area of Dhaka. PW10 MD Enab Nazir Zaki also stated that his son was killed and then the dead body was burned by police in Ashuria. We find from the testimony of PW10 Asabul was shot dead and set ablaze. It appears from the testimony of PW13 Dr. Mohammad Rahman that most patients admitted to the hospital had no skull. The detective branch members had forbidden the doctors not to be serious in the treatment of the protesting patients and also that they had been instructed from the higher authorities not to release the protester patients admitted there. The patients were mostly aged 30 to 30 years. The DB also asked the doctors not to admit any more patients injured in the movement. This witness also said that in order to hide the injured patients from the sight of the personnel, the doctors adopted some tactic like changing the names of the patients and the type of injury in the admission register and recording road accident or other reasons instead of bullet wounds. It appears from the evidence of PW15 Dr. Hassanul Banna that police and Awami League activists prevented treatment of the protester patients, prohibited new admission of such patients, checked admission register, took away list of patients, set down entrance of the hospital and prevented entrance and exit of the ambulances and patients. This witness also said that one patient named Mustaqim Billah was admitted through an alternative entrance. To save the protester patient, the doctors had to change the name of the patient and particular of their problems. Remove them from the general ward to the post-operative ward, ICU, special cabin. He added that treatment was given to such patients at risk of life of the doctors. We find from the deposition of PW 18, Dr. Razibul Islam, that he was forced to change the post-mortem report of Abu Said 4 to 5 times. He was threatened with the saying that if he does not change the cause of death of Abu Said, he would be prosecuted. He was further told that there was an intelligence report against him. PW 19 Shariful Islam was injured in the bombardment in Kustia. 62 pellets were removed from his body and 500 more stayed in his body. It is revealed from the evidence of PW 21 Dr. Zakia Sultana that on 18 July 2024 they received 200 patients aged about 14 to 25 years with bullet injuries. On 19 July 2024, also similar number of patients with bullet injuries were admitted in the hospital. Numerous patients with bullet injuries were admitted on 4th, 5th, 6th August 2024. It further appears from the evidence of this witness that out of apposite patients, 493 lost one eye forever. 11 lost both eyes forever, 28 lost vision of both eyes, and 47 lost vision of one eye. It appears from the evidence of PW 22, Mr. Idris, that while his son Maruf Hussain, after being shot by police, was being taken to the hospital, a policeman poked the wounded area of his son with the rifle butt.
Brother, today is our holiday.
PW 23 Amena Akhtar deposed that while Home Minister Asadzaman Kamal and IGP Chaudhry Abdullah Mamun were passing across Datrabari, one police officer was showing them a video of their attacks on protesters and said, "Guli kori ekta, more ekta, ahoto hoy ekta, ektai jai, bakita jai na." It Maruf Hussain, after being shot by police, was being taken to the hospital. A policeman poked the wounded area of his protesting son, wounded near son with the rifle butt. Shahidullah Hall of Dhaka University. They also checked PW 23 Amena Akhtar deposed that while Home Minister Asadzaman Kamal and IGP Chaudhry Abdullah Mamun were passing across the Trabari, one police officer was showing them a video of their attacks on protesters and said, "Guli kori ekta, more ekta, ahoto hoy ekta, ektai jai, bakita jai na." Gunshot wounds. It transpires from the testimony of PW 27, Dr. Mashuk Ahmed, that 21 Satroli and 5 August in Dhaka Medical College Hospital was wounded the top near to the bottom. Shahidullah Hall of Dhaka University. They also checked the patient identity, asked the doctors not to treat the wounded protesters, and also not to be so serious in their treatment. He further said that 5 doctors were transferred from elsewhere and due to rendering treatment to protesters with bullet injuries. This witness also stated that the direction of the gunshot wounds of the patient treated on 19 protesters, 20, 21 July and 4, 5 August in Dhaka Medical College Hospital was, and many dead bodies top to the bottom concealed, meant that the gunshot was some other student done from above, which obviously imply helicopter. PW 48. It appears from the evidence of PW 47 Nahid Islam deposed that bullets were fired brutally from helicopter and that many false cases were filed against the protesters, and going to the hospital the activists of Awam League, Jubilee and Chhatruli prevented the treatment and fired burial helicopter of protesters. Furthermore, some of the protesters were forcibly disappeared and many dead bodies of the protesters were investigating officer. He himself and some other student leaders were abducted. Ashabul Yamin was thrown down from the APC. Ali Ahsan Junaid stated that on 15 July 2024, Satro League activists brutally attacked and injured the Dhaka University students, hindered going
summing
to the
up by
hospital
the learned
and
chief prosecutor.
tortured them in the
learned chief
hospital. He
prosecutor
further said
advanced
that the protesters
arguments
were
on conclusion
fired
of
from
the
the
testimonies
helicopter.
of the prosecution witnesses. He submitted that
We find from the evidence of
the Eastern case is an
CW54
unprecedented and
and the
unexceptional
Alamgir
one in the history
investigating
of
officer
this
that the
subcontinent.
protester
After
named
achieving independence in
Ashabul
1971,
Yamin was
the
thrown
people
down
of the
from the
country had
APC
a great
by the police.
expectation and believed that all sorts of suffering
Presented an
the learned
unexceptional
prosecutor
one in the history
ruling party
of
Awami
this
League
subcontinent.
as fascist an issue.
After achieving independence in
very
1971,
of independent,
the people of the country had a great
Bangladesh,
expectation
the army,
and believed
the Awami
that
League
all
government
sorts of suffering,
concentrated
poverty,
to
tyranny and
perpetuate
high-handed
power by way of
the government and the mighty
torture,
quarters
killing,
would come to an
abduction,
end,
denial of
and people would
democracy
enjoy
and
liberty,
fundamental rights
happiness
of the
and
people,
all fundamental
freedom of
rights,
press
but
and
all
speech, as
these
well
have
as
been
social justice, and
doomed
thereupon
to ashes.
established
The learned
dictatorship by
grabbed the
forming
ruling party
Bhaksha.
Awami League as fascist ab initio from the very
The then
inception
Awami League government
of
led by Sheikh
independent
Mujibur Rahman
Bangladesh,
planned
the army, the Awami League
connivance
government
with a neighboring
concentrated
country
to
weaken and abolish our
perpetuate
glorious
its power
army
by
and
way
from
of exploitation,
Bahini
torture,
and armed
killing,
organized
abduction,
parallel to
denial
the
of
army.
democracy
In the
and
like
fundamental
way,
rights
after
of the
coming to
people,
the power
freedom of
in
press and
2008,
speech, as well as
Sheikh
social
Hasina's
justice,
government
and thereupon
committed the
established
same acts like torture,
dictatorship
abduction,
by
killing,
forming
false
Bhaksha.
prosecution, imprisoning, confinement.
The then Awami League government led by
appearances
Sheikh Mujibur Rahman planned
dominated judiciary,
connivance with a
restricted the freedom
neighboring
of press
country
and freedom of
weaken and
speech.
abolish our glorious
Sheikh
army and
Hasina
thus formed
oppressed the
Rakhi Bahini and armed organized
critics,
parallel to the
writers,
army.
journalists, members
In
of
the like
civil
way,
society,
after coming
lawyers,
to the
and
power
judges,
in
and ousted many of them
2008,
from the country,
accused Sheikh Hasina's
the then
government
Chief
committed the
Justice
same
Sheikh
acts
Hasina,
like torture,
eminent
abduction,
writer and
killing,
journalist, as
false
well as
prosecution,
historian Mahmudur Rahman,
imprisoning,
politician and
confinement,
journalist,
and
Pinaki
posting the
Bhattacharya,
appearances
Shafiq Rahman, Ilyas Hussain,
dominated
Khalid
judiciary,
Sarwar,
restricted the freedom of press and freedom of
Shahid
speech.
Alam, Jawad
Sheikh Hasina
Tasneem
oppressed
Khalil,
the
Julkarnain Shaher,
critics,
Barrister
writers,
Abdul
journalists,
Sajjad
members
driven
of civil societies,
out of the
lawyers and
country
judges,
for speaking
and
the
ousted
truth and
many of them from the
criticizing
country.
the government's
The then Chief
misrule,
Justice Sheikh
oppression
Hasina,
and loopholes.
eminent writer and journalist,
In 2008,
as well as historian
Sheikh Hasina's
Mahmudur Rahman,
conspiracy as
politician
that of
and
her
journalist Pinaki
father, 57
Bhattacharya,
senior army
Shafiq
officers,
Rahman, Ilyas Hussain,
deputation
Kanak
in
Sarwar,
Bangladesh border
Muftiqul
guard,
Fadl Ansari,
that is
Waliullah Numan,
BGB,
Shahid
were
Alam,
killed in an
Jawad
official
Nirjor,
Tasneem Khalil congregation
Julkarnain
of
Shaher,
Pilkhana
Barrister
BGB
Abdul
headquarters
Razzaq
were
were driven out of the country
by the
for
Awami League
speaking the
leaders
truth
and
and
loyal
criticizing
army
the
officers.
government.
There are no
misrule
action was taken.
oppression and loopholes.
Thereafter, no
In
action was
2008,
taken against
with Sheikh Hasina's
killers.
conspiracy as
In
that of her
2013,
father,
the law
57
enforcers
senior army officers
and the ruling
wife
party
and
activists killed
deputation in
hundreds of
Bangladesh border
youth
guard